Welcome, ladies, degenerates, and gentlemen, back to the Degents Picks Pod. We got NFL Week 7, which is nuts to say already. We missed last
Yeah.
week, which I know for me personally was not a bad thing because the picks I would have given out were absolutely terrible. Uh, I don't know how you did, but excited to get back into it.
Yeah, very excited to get back into it. Both had a couple busy weeks. We know Petty's been super busy with the power washing and everything. So he unfortunately will not be joining us today, but definitely excited to be back this week. But like you said, NFL week 7, crazy to say, already 7 weeks in, and it's going by too fast. But we still got 10 weeks to go, and uh starts off here, week 7. So let's get it.
Hell yes, brother. And let's dive right into it. Starting with our I was going to say beloved, but that's not the word I would use to describe them right now. New England Patriots hosting the Buffalo Bills. They are getting 8.5 points at home with the total set at 40 even. I do not have a play in this game. I told you guys 2 weeks ago that I would stop betting on the Patriots and giving that pick out on the show, and I did. So nothing here for me. I would take the Bills if anything, but I got no official play.
Yeah, I'm hopping back on the wagon. I hope I'm happy at the end of the day when I play this play. Pats plus 8.5. I know they've gotten their dicks kicked in and week out, especially at home, which is sad to say. But you're giving New England 8.5 at home, divisional rival. If they're not coming in ready to play this game, and if they can't keep it within 8.5 points, then I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills just come in here and blow our doors out. But I can't pass up taking the Pats plus 8.5. I do think Bills maybe first half could be a good play. Pats have come out slow. I don't think that's really going to change, but I think just taking the Pats plus 8.5. Like, when was the last time you saw the Pats 8.5 point dogs at home? Probably not in our
Yeah, I couldn't tell
lifetime.
you.
In our lifetime anyway. So I'm gonna take it. I haven't taken the Pats. I haven't faded the Pats for a few weeks now. So I'm gonna hop back on. I think it's the right side, but I could 100% be totally wrong here. But that's just my feelings on it. Definitely a couple key missing pieces on defense still. Judon and Christian
For
Gonzalez.
both sides.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball. But yeah, Milano for the Bills. They
Yeah.
like the Bills. Honestly, they haven't really looked too hot. So it could be a get right week for the Bills. But I think the Pats. I think they come ready to play against a division rival. I hope I'm right, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. Get right spot after that kind of just all around shitty performance against the
Yeah,
Giants on
yeah.
Sunday night.
I don't know what the exact stat is, but the Bills are I think the first team to like have the stats that they had and win a football game. Previous teams that have like the stat line they had were like 0 and 124 or something like that. It was like having more missed field goals, having more lost fumbles, like more turnovers, and I think there's a couple other things added into that, but yeah, the 0 and 124. So they did not deserve to win that game, but it could be a get right game for them. But I think they aren't really playing that well at the end of the day. So Pats plus 8.5 at home. Let's do it. Let's rock.
Yeah, and not to mention the Giants had multiple chances to win that game. So,
Yeah. Question for you, Fuski.
yeah, what's up?
As long as we've been watching football, as long as we could remember, Bill Belichick has been the coach of the New England Patriots. Right?
Mm-hmm.
At what point this season, if it gets to this point, do you pull the plug and fire this guy? What's your opinion? We're 1-5 right now. Like, what does the record have to be?
Are you asking me as a fan or if I was like in charge of the team?
Let's hear both opinions.
Um, I think they're well, I guess as a fan, I can see the frustration. I personally don't think he should be fired mid-season.
Yeah,
Um, and from the other perspective, as ownership, I don't think that would ever happen. I just don't see that happening. The
yeah,
relationship they had over the past 20, however many years, that's just doesn't seem like a possibility to me. Maybe at the end of the year, they go their separate ways. I think it will be more a mutual thing than a get the hell out of here thing,
yeah.
to be honest. But
Mhm.
it's definitely not looking good.
Yeah, definitely not looking good. I've just been reading a whole bunch of stuff, and I hear certain things, and I'm hearing that if it gets to the point, then Kraft wouldn't really hold back. He would just do it, you know. But I also agree with you too. I think with what Belichick has done here in New England for, like I said, as long as we can remember, right? Like six Super Bowls, however many AFC championships, division titles. Like I know it's been tough since Brady left, but um, you got to let the guy finish out the season, I believe. But as a fan,
Yeah,
I'm
and I try to think of it from his perspective too. Like he, you think he wants to be this fucking bad? Like he probably might even want out after this season. Like this sucks. He wants to win, you know?
yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely. But
yeah,
it's just been an absolute dumpster fire, man. It's just,
yeah, yeah, it has.
but
Anyways, we can
hey,
move on.
yeah, like I said, there's 10 weeks left. You never know.
No, I at this point, I'm not rooting for them to lose, but it'd probably
Yeah,
be better for us.
yeah, probably for the best moving forward. So
Okay, so from deep depths of depression to probably the best game of the weekend, other than Sunday night with Philly Dolphins, which we'll get to. The Lions at Ravens. I think it's going to be a great game.
yep, yep.
Ravens favored by 3, over under set at 43. I did not pick a side here. I like both teams. I will be kicking my feet up to watch this one. I think it's going to be an awesome game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game. I think Jared Goff is kind of has earned the right to be in the MVP discussion, right? Like this Lions team, everyone. I mean, they came in as a division favorites, right? But they're still plus money division favorites. And I mean, they've been proving everyone wrong to a point. Everyone thought they're going to be a good team, but I think they look like a legit NFC Super Bowl kind of team. You know, like I think they've proved that they can be there. So with that said, I'll be taking the Lions plus 3. I think they're just a better team. I don't really like how the Ravens have been playing. I think later in games they kind of fold a little bit. I think that's when the Lions they show up at week in and week out. They're with their foot on the gas pedal, you know. So from the first whistle to the last whistle. So I like the Lions here. Ravens are a good team too, but I like the Lions in the spot.
Yeah, David Montgomery out, but Jameer Gibbs did practice today, so they should be
Yeah,
fine there. And
yeah,
I think it should be a tight one, so I don't mind taking the dog there either. But I'm gonna watch it and enjoy it.
yes, sir.
All right, moving on. Commanders at Giants in a stink fest. I am not sure about Daniel Jones. I think he wants to go, but I don't think it's confirmed. Commanders are favored by 2.5. Over under set at 37.5. I don't have any plays on this game either. Seems like a stink fest to me.
The Stinkfest is where I thrive, baby. Give me the Commanders minus 2.5. Um, Despite losing to the Bills, I mean, I thought the Giants played pretty well. The Bills stunk it up, but I think that was mostly on the Giants' behalf. I think they played a little. I think they played solid defense. They moved the ball pretty well. They just couldn't really get in the end zone. I mean, that end of the first half. Did you see that, dude? Like
Like I said, they kind of beat
how?
themselves.
Yeah, like how in the hell do you let that happen, right? But um, I think Daniel Jones is going to end up playing. I have a weird feeling he's going to be playing, and that makes me want to. That makes me. That's my thoughts in taking the Commanders. I think Daniel Jones might be a bottom three quarterback of the league right now. This
Yeah,
guy
they almost look better with Tyrod.
stinks. I was going to say that. Yeah, I think the offense flows better with Tyrod, despite not getting in the end zone a whole lot. They seem to be moving the ball a little bit better the other night. But and I think Sam Howell kind of flipped the page. I think he's progressing right before our eyes, and I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL for years to come. So I think the Commanders -2.5 to play here. Also, I saw a stat saying this is a DraftKings daily fantasy play. Throw Terry McLaurin in all your lineups. In
Love it.
NFC East like matchups since 2019, he is the leading receiver, and since 2019 he's had 1,800 receiving yards in NFC East matchups. The next closest is CeeDee Lamb with 1,200. So
Holy shit. Yeah, Terry's a dog. I think he's been pretty low key this year so far. So maybe this
he
is
has been very low key. I mean, he's
coming out party.
yeah, he's getting his targets, like not really, like he's getting like 5-6 targets a game. Last week he ended up having like closer to 10 catches, I believe, something like that. He kind of showed out last week. And yeah, I think the Commanders are a good team. I think they're gonna take it to the Giants this week.
All right, next game in Tampa. Atlanta travels to the Bucks. Bucks -2.5. Another low total at 37. Another one that I'm laying off of. I like the Falcons early in the year. Desmond Ritter made some big mistakes last week, despite having a 300+ yard passing game, but 3 picks, ends up losing them in the game against the Commanders.
Yeah,
And the Bucks get steamrolled by the Lions kind of last week, even though it was only 20-7 or whatever. I don't know. I couldn't pick a side here. Feel like the Falcons are going to show up in the division, but I am just not confident enough to take them either way.
yeah, Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons in this one. Um, I think +2.5. I think I got on that, right? That sounds right.
Yeah.
Falcons +2.5. I think this team is too talented, right? I mean, Desmond Ritter's been making those mistakes. He's been pretty brutal, but the surrounding cast around Ritter is I would say it's top 12 offense in NFL. You know, if you put those skill players with like another quarterback, I think they'd be easily the best team in the NFC South. But Desmond Ritter is weighing them down. But I think this Buccaneers team is kind of coming to. I think they're definitely a bottom half team in the league with not a whole lot of potential to become a top half team in the league. But I think the Falcons do have the potential to become a top half team in the league. And like you said, I think the Falcons are going to come into this divisional game with a little bit of fire. I think they're gonna take this one outright. But I'll take the 2.5 points.
Right. Moving on to Indianapolis.
Just for the record here, I'm not betting the board. He just picked the first 4 games, and I guess I have 5 plays, and that's just 4 of my 5 plays. If 4 of the
Yeah,
games that he picked, making
it's
me
all right.
feel
I got
like I bet
something on the
board.
next 3, so I'll make you feel a little bit better.
There you go. There you go. Your turn.
Browns travel to Indy. Browns -3, another low total at 40.5. Browns defense is incredible. Anthony Richardson out for the year. Deshaun Watson practiced for the first time in like a month this week. Um, I'm gonna wipe. Oh no, I'm not. Just the line just went up. I have Browns money line written down. I think it was at like 145, 150 when I wrote it down. It's at 162 now. So I'll just take the Browns -3. I don't think Gardner is going to be able to have much success against this Browns defense. And if D-Watt's back, I think they can handle business in Indy.
I agree with you there. I think Browns win the game. Tough news for the Colts. Anthony Richardson out for the year, unfortunately. But I mean, I think they're doing him right. Get him the surgery. Get him right. You know, it's a tad bit concerning though, because he's had 2 injuries already this year.
4 out of 5 games he didn't finish.
So looking forward, I think it's tough. Like you draft this guy, what, fifth overall, and he didn't finish 4 out of the 5 games, and then now is a season-ending injury. But the right thing to do is definitely sit him for the year, get the surgery, get him right, and get him ready for next year.
Yeah, I agree. It's got to be concerning as a Colts fan, but you can't keep just throwing out there and then have nothing like the end of the season.
Yeah, do everything you can to make sure he's 100% for next year. They weren't going to do a whole lot this year.
Right.
Especially, I mean, it's his rookie year. You can't expect a whole lot, but I think they have a solid base to build off of. Maybe 1 or 2 drafts, maybe a free agent signing here or there away from being back at the top of the NFC South. So get him next year.
They definitely have the talent, that's for sure. But I just think, especially after that news, they might be a little bit down. And the Browns defense has been historically good. So I'll take the 3 points, or I'll lay the 3 points with the Browns.
Yes,
Moving
sir.
on, Raiders at Bears. Justin Fields out. Jimmy Garoppolo out. Tyson Bagent will be the starter for the Bears. And I believe it's going to be Brian Hoyer, but it also could be Aiden O'Connell. I don't think that's been confirmed. Either way, I will be taking the Raiders on the money line, -135. This total is 37.5. But
Whoa.
I'm going to take the short price with the Raiders.
Whoa.
I think Tyson Bagent for his expectations, he looked good in the preseason. I mean, I picked him up in Dynasty, so he looked good enough to maybe manage the offense, but no Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm.
-135 on the money line. It almost seems too easy.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I don't know. I don't know enough about Tyson Bagent to back him. I don't know enough about Aiden McConnell. I do know if Brian Hoyer's playing, I'm probably going to take the Bears.
Really? I'm going the other way.
Yeah, if Brian Hoyer's playing, I'm probably going to lay the Bears.
Wow.
Last week, the Raiders obviously beat the Pats, but first half, Garoppolo played, and the Raiders are winning. Hoyer goes in, and the Pats end up winning the second half. So Hoyer's trash. Hoyer sucks. The guy could be a pretty solid offensive coordinator at some point, maybe a QB coach, but the guy can't play fucking football. So give me if Brian Hoyer is a starter, I will be taking the Bears on the money line.
Okay.
I'll probably, if that's the case, I'm adding it Sunday, 100%.
Sweet. Yeah, that's a tough one. 2 backup QBs, but
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be an absolute dumpster fire.
All right, next game. That does it for the 1 o'clock. So we got 6 games at 1, 4 games at 4:30. Seahawks host the Cardinals. Seahawks -7.5. Total set at 44.5. This was I told you this a little earlier. I got a cheeky little play. I am going to tease the Seahawks down to -0.5. So Seahawks money line with the over 37.5. So 7-point teaser on the Seahawks and the over for me. Kyler Murray practiced this week, which is good news for the Cardinals' future, especially since it seemed like he wasn't going to play at all, especially since they have they're not going to win anything or go anywhere. Mm-hmm. So it seems like he wants to be back. Good news for them. But the Seahawks team, I think, is solid at home in the division. I think they win the game, and I think there's going to be a good amount of points. So give me that 7-point teaser with the Hawks and the over.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I think I've said this to you before. I don't like teasing totals too much, just because once points are put on the board for a total, you can't do anything about it. But spreads can change based on numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to explain, but I don't really like teasing totals. But I do like teasing the Seahawks down. I think that the Cardinals all year they've been they've been a great first half team and blow it in the second half. So I think that that minus a half is definitely solid side of the teaser, and yeah, I can see some points. So I like that. I like that teaser. I don't really have a lean here. Um, Gun in my head, I'd probably go Cardinals plus 7.5, but I don't like it enough where I'm gonna play it. So
Yeah, I looked back at their past matchups. um, this is the lowest total in a couple years in this game,
yeah,
and the least amount they two or last year in their first matchup was 19-9. That was the lowest amount of points they scored in 3-4 years.
yeah.
So I think 37.5 should get it done. Like you said, Cardinals, they fight. They might put up 14-ish, and I think the Seahawks take care of business and they get it done and they get enough points on both sides to cover that. So that's why I did that. Next game in LA, Rams host the Steelers. Rams -3 over under 43.5. Steelers coming off a bye. Deontay Johnson is back. And I'm taking the Rams -3.
Rams -3. Okay.
Yeah, I think Cooper Kupp might have 275 yards receiving in this game.
Yeah, right. Because Kyron's out, right?
Kyron Williams is out. It's going to be running back by committee. They
Yeah.
signed Daryl Henderson. They got Chris Evans, a couple other guys back
I
there.
think I think they signed Gaskin too. I saw
Maybe.
something like
Yeah,
that.
you might be right there. I think they did.
But yeah, because so Kyron's out and their backup Ronnie Rivers is on IR right now too. So I think the Rams may throw the ball 65 times.
Yeah,
Which
and I
makes me
told
want to
you we were
I want to
talking
take a
about the
player prop.
Steelers earlier in the year, and I mentioned how like without TJ Watt, their defense is. I mean, it's not very. I'm looking at the stats here. They are bottom third in the league in pretty much every stat beside quarterback rating and completion percentage, and they're sixth in the sacks. So they get to the quarterback with TJ Watt and what's the Highsmith? Is that his name? On the other
Mm-hmm.
side,
Mm-hmm.
those two guys are studs, but they let up 250 passing yards a game, almost 400 yards of total offense game.
Wow, that's a lot of yards.
Yeah, they're beside TJ Watt just wreaking havoc. They don't have much. I know they have a couple like
Minka.
they have Minka back there, but I mean it can't be a one man show when you're talking about secondary.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Cooper Kupp
I hear you.
has played 2 games and he has 250 receiving yards. So
Yeah, well, did you expect anything else?
no, not at all. I just think they're going to get torched in the back end, and
Yeah.
they can't. Their offense won't be able to hang.
Mhm. I agree. I agree. That's also another DraftKings daily fantasy play Tutu Atwell, play Puka Nakua, or play Cooper Cup if you have the available budget there. But I think the Rams are going to be throwing the football.
Mm-hmm.
That also makes me want to take like a juicy TJ Watt sack prop. Like I kind of want to take TJ Watt over 1.5 sacks, or like TJ Watt 2+ sacks or something.
Let's see what I can find for you. Ready?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I definitely don't have that in my book. I can't. But
Yeah, they don't have anything up right now, anyways.
yeah, but I definitely think TJ, like you said, TJ Watt wreaks havoc. And if the Rams are without their entire running game, I think they'll be throwing the ball a lot, obviously. And I think that gives TJ Watt obviously more opportunities to get to the quarterback. So
Yes, sir. Okay, next game. AFC West matchup in Kansas City. Chiefs -5.5. Over under set at 48. Um, this one was tough for me, especially after seeing the Chargers
Don't do
beat
it.
the Cowboys on Monday night. Um, I like they just I don't know. Herbert missed some throws, didn't play very well. They usually play the Chiefs good in this matchup, and it's usually pretty high scoring and pretty close. So I wanted to take the Chargers, but I just don't trust them. I haven't trusted them all year, so why am I going to change now?
Yeah,
I got
don't
nothing.
do not bet on these shitbags.
I haven't.
I will
I
not.
just was looking at the history of the matchup, and I'm like, damn, 5.5. I don't like the number really either. I think if it was
Yeah,
closer to a score, I might be more enticed to take them.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I got nothing here. Chiefs should
yeah,
win this game.
yeah. I lean Chiefs, but I said it earlier on this year. I'm not going to bet a game with the Chargers involved. I will not. I will not do it. The other night, Monday night, nothing. Couldn't bet. I lean the Cowboys, but I just don't trust this Chargers team. So I feel like when I bet with them, they blow it. When I bet against them, they win. So
Show up, yeah.
I stand my ground there, and I'm not gonna bet the game. I do lean the Chiefs, and I do lean Brandon Staley not making the flight back. If that's a if that's a prop that we could take, but
They're just
that
they're
guy
cursed.
sucks. That guy sucks. How, like last, we should have been fired after that goddamn playoff game.
I
Like,
agree.
like immediately. Like get him the hell out of town.
Yeah, if they weren't going to do it then, they're not going to do it now. Um,
So frustrating, man.
yeah,
So much
but I
talent.
mean, Kirby didn't play very well on Monday either, which was surprising to me. He missed some wide open throws to Keenan.
Yeah, definitely not his best game.
No, but nothing there. It's usually a pretty fun game to watch, though. So
Yeah,
hopefully it lives up to the hype like always. And
very good.
last afternoon game before we get to Sunday night, Packers at Broncos. Packers -1, total set at 45. Packers off a bye. I had the Pack money line on my list, and I got scared off of it a little bit. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. The Packers really haven't looked too good. As bad as the Broncos have been, they haven't looked good enough to where I can be confident that they don't make a mistake and fuck this one up in Denver. So I'm not touching this game either, even though I do lean Packers.
Yeah, I had the same thought process as you. I wrote down Packers. I went to go place it, and I was like, not today. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. The Broncos suck, but like I feel like at any given moment they could play really well. But I'm just kind of waiting to see it. They could just be that bad of a team, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling that Sean Payton might be low key fixing games. I think
Wow.
I think he doesn't like Russ. I don't think he likes Russell Wilson. I,
Nobody really likes Russell Wilson, to be fair, though.
I agree. I agree with that. No one likes Russell Wilson. I mean, the guy blows. He blows on the field, and I feel like he's just an absolutely horrible person to be around. You know, I don't
I
know.
hear you, but I mean the
What was,
talent is there. It's just the
yeah.
Packers just they aren't particularly good at like one thing. The run game hasn't been there at all this year, and Jordan Love has been up and down. Early he looked good, hasn't been as good as of late. Off the bye, you'd think they'd be able to get right, but like you said, I mean the Broncos could show up at any point with how many studs they have on that team.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like just waiting for them to flip a switch. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think they're a playoff team by any means, but I think
Mm-mm.
they have the talent there to absolutely beat the Packers, especially at home. So
Right. Agreed.
we'll see.
All right. So 6-4, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock games is delightful.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
And now the big matchup in Philly, Sunday night. We don't usually put out official plays this early for Sunday night. But I got one here. Eagles are favored by 2.5, over under set at 51.5. Eagles obviously lose to the Jets last week. Um, and the Niners lose to the Browns, so no undefeated teams left. I will be on the Eagles money line in Philly with the Kelly Greens. I expect them to bounce back big time here and get back to the run game, which Miami doesn't particularly defend too well. So I think in a close one, the Eagles squeak out a win, what should be the best game of the week for sure.
Yeah, I am all over the Eagles. Eagles minus 2.5. I think it's the correct side. The Dolphins, I wouldn't say are fraudulent, but I think they are overrated. Right? They're definitely a good team, but if you look at their schedule this year, like they played horrible teams. Let me just quickly look at this. Okay, so at the Chargers, that's a good win, right? At the Patriots, and Patriots suck.
That means absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Means nothing. The Broncos, they blow. I'm just going through their wins right now. The Giants, they blow. Panthers currently hold the first overall pick. Well, the Bears do, but you know what I mean. So 4 out of their 5 wins are against teams that currently hold the top 5 pick, and the Chargers are coached by Brandon Staley. So like it's basically their 5 wins are all don't really mean a whole lot. Maybe I mean at Chargers, yeah, I guess it's a tough one. Whatever.
Well, they got the good version of the Chargers there, so we'll give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah, they got the good offensive version of the Chargers. But hear me out. They play a legit team. They play the Buffalo Bills, and they get their shit pushed in. Right? They're on the road at the Eagles. The Eagles obviously won the Super Bowl last year. Started out 5-0. Lost a tough one last week. Eagles throwing on the Kelly Greens at home. Dolphins don't stand a chance, man.
Yeah,
Eagles
those
are
Kelly Greens are going to be on fire Sunday night.
Eagles are going to win this one 38-17.
All right,
That's my prediction.
book it. Exact score bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you throw $5 on that for me.
I got you.
My man.
All right, and lastly, Monday night. Speaking of the Niners in Minnesota, Niners -7, over under set at 44. Similar to this game, I expect the Niners to bounce back. I will most likely be on the Niners -7, but it's Monday night, so we will wait till that gets closer to lock those in.
Yeah. I got nothing so far. I don't really like it. Um, yeah, I just don't like this game. We'll see. We'll see on Monday night. Maybe a couple props, player props. Let's go on with CMC though. What
Nobody
was his
really knows. He's always kind of
low
been
band
very
up?
secretive with his injuries.
Yeah,
It's an oblique.
oblique.
Um,
Okay.
I think he's going to be fine whether he plays or not. I don't know, but I don't think that matters. The Vikings are miserable, and as as mediocre as the Niners played against a good Browns defense, Brock Purdy still drove them down the field and gave them a chance to have a game-winning field goal and win that game.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I don't got nothing on that one. It's kind of a shitbag game. So
Yeah, I kind of expect it to be a rout, but like we said on X, we got the Degents account, and then we tweet out from our personal accounts if we have plays for Monday night usually. So check there. And that does it for NFL Week 7, baby.
yes,
I think I got
sir.
5 picks total. Okay, moving on to college football Week 8. It's Friday. We got one game tonight. SMU at Temple. I don't have a play on it. SMU at 23.5. It's quite the spread. You got a Friday now?
Um, I don't. I'm probably gonna tweet this out later. I got Temple plus 23 and a half. I'm gonna end up taking it. SMU is on the second of back to backs, and I believe they covered. I think like I remember that this was a stat last year, but it hits at like 65 to 70%. If a team hits in the first game of back to back on the road, they don't cover the second one. It hits like 65, 70%. Well, last year it did anyway. I think it's been if I go back and look at my bets when I've been looking at that spot, I'm pretty sure it's been maybe not 70%, but like 60 to 65%. So I don't think Temple's a very good team, but I'm just going with the trends here, and I think I'm gonna go Temple plus 23 and a half.
All right. Excuse me. Okay. I have a big slate for me, 12 picks in college,
So,
starting at noon. Obviously, biggest game of the weekend, Penn State at Ohio State. Penn State plus 4.5, over under set at 45.5. I am on the Nittany Lions plus the 4.5. Um, I think it's a turning of the tides here in the Big Ten. No, Ohio State's at home, but I think Penn State might even win this game outright in a close one. So I'll take the 4.5 points with the Nittany Lions.
yeah, I agree with you. I think this has potential to be the like a turning of the tide of the Big Ten. I think Penn State could potentially take over Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State is that good. I don't think they're at the end of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up losing to Penn State and losing to Michigan, and they're ranked like 10 to 12th. Um, not really too high on them. Obviously, I'm super high on Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to be an absolute beast in the NFL, but I'm not a huge fan of their quarterback, Kyle McCord. I just think this Penn State team is deeper. I think they win it. The only advantage Ohio State here has in this game is that they are at home. Um, with that being said, I don't have a side. I do lean Penn State, but I do like the under. I got the under 45 and a half. I think it's going to be a hard-nosed game. I think they're going to be battling. There's going to be a lot of aggressive offensive calls, like 4th and 5s, 4th and 6. I think it's going to be a defensive stand type of game. I just don't see this game getting over 45 points.
Yeah, both teams very good defenses. Should
Yeah.
be a banger at noon. Wake up to that.
Yes, sir. I can't wait. It's going to be great to get the good day going with that one.
Hell yeah. My next nooner is, excuse me, Rutgers -6 at Indiana. I love Rutgers, and I usually bet them pretty much every week. So that's what I'm doing again here. Indiana is not very good. Rutgers is traveling, but I will take the one score at 6 points for Rutgers.
Yeah, Rutgers is traveling. They didn't look a whole lot good last week against Michigan State. I think they are very, 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 very lucky to walk away with a win in that game. Um, but a win's a win. They travel to Indiana. Rutgers has Ohio State on deck. Look ahead spot. Give me Indiana +6. I think Indiana's not good, but I'm gonna be playing. These are my spots. I love this spot. Give me Indiana at home +6.
All right. Next nooner for me, Cincinnati -3.5 at home hosting Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these teams have actually never played each other. I was looking earlier at past matchups, and there is no matchup history. So they've never played each other um, ever, which is
It's
pretty
kind of
wild.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I know this is the
So,
first year that they're in the same conference, but just like a non-conference or potentially a bowl game, they've both been pretty solid teams over the last 20 years, right? So
right.
it is kind of shocking that some of these teams really, truly have never played each other.
Yeah, I like Cincy at home here. I think they have a slight advantage. Both teams 2-4, so not too much to rave about, but I will take the home team minus 3.5.
Yeah, I got nothing in that one. Should be. I mean, they're both 2-4 teams, but I mean, it's a Big 12 game and should be a good one. My next play at noon, I think I got four nooners. Yes. I got UCF plus 17 and a half. They go on the road traveling to Oklahoma. Um, this is kind of fading my. I mean, UCF's on a second of a back to back, but they played in Kansas last week, so it's not really. I'm not sure like how they travel if they go all the way back to Florida and then back to Oklahoma, whatever. They probably do because they have classes and shit, but they probably don't take classes anyway. But I just think that Oklahoma is gonna, after a big, big, big win against Texas, and then a bye week, they're gonna come up real, real slow. And I don't know. I just like UCF to keep it close in this one. I
Yeah,
think
I was looking at that side
Dylan
too.
Gabriel. I think Dylan Gabriel struggles against his former team. So that's my that's kind of my thought process there. And I also fucking hate Oklahoma. So let's go.
I was gonna say it might be a little bit of a spite pick, but I was leaning that way too. It's after a huge game like that, and huge win, it's tough to come out and blow the doors off the team that you should.
I mean, they're still hungover after being Texas, and that was 2 weeks ago. So
Yeah.
oh, I hate saying those words. Being Texas. Oh,
I have one more nooner. Actually, don't even see it up on VK right here, but I have BC plus the 4.5 against Georgia Tech. Um,
Soaring Eagles.
yeah, I think this game should be closer to a pick 'em. But Georgia Tech beat Miami last week, so a little bit of an overreaction. And BC, although they're not exactly world beaters, I think in the ACC matchup they will keep it close and cover the 4.5. So that's my last nooner.
Mhm. You just never know what you're going to get out of Georgia Tech.
Same could be said for BC too. They almost lost the Holy
Very, very,
Cross
very,
this year.
very true. I don't know. It's like Georgia Tech comes out and plays really well. Like Louisville. Louisville was what 6-0 last week. Did they end up losing last week? Louisville. Let's check real quick. Yeah, they ended up losing at Pittsburgh. That's a
Yeah,
bad. That's a bad loss. But anyway, opening night they played Louisville. They kept it within 5 points, and they lose to Ole Miss. I believe they lost by 25, but it looks like I believe it was a closer game. Like at the end, I remember I bet on Georgia Tech in this game, and there's 37 fourth quarter points. Second half, they gave up 38 points. So I think for the most part, they kept it close. They win at Wake Forest. They win at Miami. They lose to Bowling Green. Like I you never know what you're gonna get out of Georgia Tech. They could come out and play unbelievable. They come out and they could suck wind. So I don't really like betting that those kind of teams. They remind me a lot of the Chargers. They come out and play well and they come out and they suck. So I got nothing there. I wanted to take Georgia Tech just because BC's on a second of a back to back, but um, I can't do it. Cannot do it and will not do it. So that's my thoughts on that game. I got Air Force minus 10 at Navy. I just think Air Force is an absolute wagon. I don't think Navy's a very good team this year. And in the game of the triple option, I think Air Force wins this game by 10 plus. So that's my
they've been running it up on teams this year. They're 6-0, I believe, right?
yeah, ranked. They're ranked. They're 22nd in the country.
It's pretty wild.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
That does it for nooners for me. You got any more nooners?
That's it for Nooners.
Okay, let's see what else do I have. I got until 3:30. You have any of those 2 o'clocks in the middle there?
Nope. 3:30. I got three of them.
Okay, I'll let you go first. I have four 3:30. First one for me, is Oregon -20 at home. Washington State has kind of looked like shit the past couple weeks. I think Oregon takes care of business at home against Wazoo.
Oregon's home, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a good get right spot for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think
Yeah,
Wazoo has
honestly,
showed much life the past couple weeks. So
yeah. Did you watch that Oregon Washington game last week?
I saw bits and pieces. I was at the Rhode Island game, so as we were leaving and going out to dinner, I saw the back end of the
Yeah.
first half and the third quarter, and then we were driving home. So
Yeah, I mean that was one of the best college games I've seen this year. I mean, that was an unbelievable game.
yeah, it was awesome.
I think Washington played unbelievable at points, and they looked real bad. I think looking at both teams, I think Oregon looked better, top to bottom. I think just real bad decisions. Uh, it was fourth and goal with like I don't know a few seconds left. I can't tell you the exact amount of seconds that were left, and they were down by a few points. Then they down by was it three at
Yeah,
half?
I'm pretty sure they could have tied it, but they went for it.
Yeah. I think they had like 2 or 3 points, and they ended up going for it. And like just like a really bad play call too, and they I just feel like they should have kicked the field goal. Just take the 3 points, head into halftime, make your adjustments, and come out. And they ended up missing a field goal, tie the game at the end of regulation. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to. They won't play again, right?
Uh,
The Pac-12 is the North and the South.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
This is gonna drive me nuts. Let me just click on the pack real quick. Oh, is it all one con? It's not split into halves. Okay. So
Um,
I'm just saying, like I'm looking forward to betting on. I bet on Washington last week, and I ended up with a push, but I was kind of happy with it because I feel like Oregon outplayed them. But I'm excited to bet Oregon next time that they face off, especially if it's a conference championship game in a neutral site. I think Oregon takes care of business, but we kind of got sidetracked there. I apologize.
oh, good.
But yeah, I think this is definitely a get right game for Oregon. They played well last week, but I think this is definitely a good game for them to set the tone, come out firing, and show the country, show the guys making the rankings that they definitely are still deserving of a potential playoff appearance. Where is my first 3:30 game? Okay, yeah, I got South Carolina plus 7.5 against Missouri. I don't know why. I hate this Missouri team. They're really boring to me. They're nothing. They're ranked. They're 6-1. Blah 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 blah. Missouri travels to the number one ranked Georgia next week. They're hosting South Carolina, and I think South Carolina is being a little disrespected with this number. I think 7.5 is way too many points. Week one, they led UNC at half. UNC is the 12th or 10th ranked team. I think they're ranked 10th right now. UNC is the 10th ranked team in the country. They led them at half. Week three. They traveled to Georgia. They're winning that. They're beating them at half. They got spanked by Tennessee, but then last week, tough loss against Florida. They lost by 2 points, right? So I feel like South Carolina's being a little disrespected. I think this number should be closer to 3.5. Maybe even less than that. So I like South Carolina a lot. I might be adding another unit or even 2 more units to this one. This is probably one of my favorite plays of the year. South Carolina plus 7.5.
Yep. And with all that you just said, I'm on the other side. I'm taking Missouri
Oh,
7.5. Pretty much all signs point to South Carolina in this matchup, but Missouri kept it close with LSU. They're at home. Spencer Rattler has had no help this year. They are, I believe, South Carolina is like bottom. I don't know how many teams are in the country, but they're way down there in giving up sacks. They have a stud wide out, but if he's got no time to throw the ball, that doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
Missouri's defense isn't too good, but they can score. And I think the pressure from the offensive line in front of Spencer Rattler will get to him a little bit, and they cover this 7.5 number at home.
Skoski, this makes me sad, man.
Yeah, well, you said to me earlier that they go to Georgia next week, and that scared me a little bit. But this was one of the first plays that I locked in
Yeah.
all weekend, so I'm gonna stay on it here. I'm not gonna flip flop. I backed South Carolina a couple times this year, hasn't worked out too well for me. Um,
Yeah.
but I think Mizzou can score enough to cover this 7.5. And I don't think South Carolina can. When they have to throw the ball when they're down, if they're down, that's usually when things go pretty bad for South Carolina.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So a little battle, but that's okay. That happens. Um, I got two. So actually, I didn't even have that on my list. I actually have 5 330s. So my next one is Tulane -20 at home against North Texas. Similar here, I think Tulane's going to run up the score, and North Texas is not going to be able to hang on the offensive side of the ball. So I'll take Tulane -20 at home.
Yeah, I don't have anything in this one, but I looked at the total in this one, 63 currently.
Mhm.
Uh, North Texas puts up points. They got a good offense and they allow a lot of points. So I think that's where the -20 will come into play. I think we're looking at like a 45-21 type of game, maybe even like a 56-30 type of game. But I think there's going to be a lot of points. This might be a Saturday ad, the over 63. Yeah, Tulane's just in that upper. Like North Texas is a solid program. They've been pretty good the last couple of years, but I think Tulane's just in that next category of college football teams. Like you got your Power Fives, and you got the Tulanes, and then you got the rest of the mid majors. And I think that's where North Texas is compared to Tulane. So, and Tulane's at home too. So I think -20 is the right side there. Like I said, I might add the over on Saturday. What's my next 330? Tennessee +9. This is a pure fade of Bama. Couldn't tell you exactly why I really like this that much, but I don't know. 330 slate, 2 ranked teams. Bama lost to Texas seems to be getting it back right, but they really haven't played that well, right? They really have not played that well. I think Tennessee has impressed more than Alabama. What was it last week? Jalen Milroe was like 11 of 24 completions, and then both like 3 rushing touchdowns, right? But yeah, he was 10 of 21. Actually, no rushing touchdowns, but 2 touchdowns. But 10 of 21 against Arkansas, like
Yeah, they let them back in that
not
game.
a very good quarterback. And I'd rather take Milton in a battle of QBs over Milroe. So give me Tennessee plus the 9 points. I think they show up this Saturday.
The balls. Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm not confident in laying 8.5 with Bama. It was 6.5 maybe, but I don't know. Like I said, they've been a little sloppy. I think they're getting
Yeah.
better, but I think this big rivalry matchup will be pretty close. But I got no play there. My next 330 is Illinois. The line is +2.5. I'm going to buy it to 3. Illinois is at home, and Wisconsin goes, or no, they might be at home, but they play Ohio State next week. So in this Big Ten matchup, I'm going to take the home dog with a look at spot for Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. Fuski, I made a mistake.
Wow, what's up?
Wisconsin does play Ohio State next week.
They do.
Rutgers doesn't play Ohio State next week.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Rutgers plays Ohio State in 2 weeks, and it's just their bye week. I wasn't looking at the dates. I just saw them next up on their schedule.
That's all right. We're not locked in yet. That's why we're doing this.
Oh, no, I locked in Indiana +6 at home against Rutgers.
I have not locked yet. Well, I'm going to lock them in probably later today. Most of the early games, at least. So, yeah.
Fuck it. Fuck it. We riding.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You said that, and I was like, wait a second. I said Rutgers plays Ohio State next week. I looked at this schedule. November 4th is their next game against Ohio State. I was like, oh, damn it, that's 2 weeks. Fuck. But, hey, it is what it is. I still like Indiana, +6 at home. I already talked about that game. We're moving on.
Yep.
You want +2.5? Is that play there?
Yeah, I'm gonna end up buying it to 3 points, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that hook is a little scary. But I do lean the Illinois side as well. I think Wisconsin's been slightly disappointing so far this year. So yeah, I like Illinois. Like Illinois is similar like a Georgia Tech. They come out and play really well. They beat Maryland, right? But they come out and put up 0 points against Fitchburg State. So.
That was a stray shot.
Oh, did you see that? Did I send that to you guys the other day?
Yes, the worst team in all of the nation in college football.
Yeah, they ranked like the Michigans and the Ohio States all the way down to the Fitchburg States, and it was Fitchburg State is legit. Obviously there's no way to quantify that, right? But I don't doubt it. They sucked asshole when I was in the chain gang, right? But
they still do.
They definitely still do. I follow obviously Fitchburg. Like I don't want to slander Fitchburg State. That's the alma mater. But I follow like the Instagram accounts, and like I saw their quarterback throw a touchdown, and I was like, dude, that looks like my high school huddle team, like huddle highlights. Like this team looks. Their offensive line is. I feel like we can make a lot better offensive line out of our goddamn group chat.
I probably could.
Probably could. It's unbelievable. But yeah, anyway, Michigan was 100 projected point spread, 156-point favorites over Fitchburg State.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, I'd throw every dollar I had on it. If Michigan came out and like tried to score every play, like their main goal on every play was to score a touchdown, they will cover 156 points easily. I know it was only 6 minutes in a football game, but no matter what play Fitchburg State runs, whether it's a pass play, whatever, their quarterback has half a second to get rid of the ball. 2, they're running, but they're not even going to be able to get the ball handed off. There's going to be guys mid-hand off, right? So turnovers. They're not going to be able to tackle. Like imagine, what's Michigan's running back's name? Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. Blake Corum would flatten every single one of those.
He'd have a field day.
He'd have an absolute field day. He'd have 666 yards rushing. 16 touchdowns. JJ McCarthy could play left-handed with his 2 of his legs tied together.
Yeah, that's why we're bottom of D3, and Michigan is ranked number 1 in the nation or whatever the fuck they are.
Oh yeah, number 2. I guess that's accurate. Yeah, but
yeah,
I would love to see that though.
Yeah, imagine Michigan Wolverines roll up to Pittsburgh State's football field, and we're all just in the bleachers with like 300 people just watching.
300 people.
A scrimmage.
Over under 6.5 ambulance drives onto the field.
Oh, I don't even know. I think I'm taking the under because the Pittsburgh State team would just fall over. I wouldn't want to hit by those guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't suit up. Hell no.
Anyways,
Hell no, coach. I didn't practice for this. I didn't sign up for this.
Pittsburgh State can't win in their conference in Division Three, so I don't think they're going to put up much against the Michigan Wolverines.
No, probably not.
Anyways, you got any more 330s?
Yeah, Nebraska minus 11.5 at home against Northwestern. Northwestern blows. I listened to part of my take. Shout out Big Cat. Shout out PFT. Those guys are great. They had Will Compton on their most recent podcast, and I don't know, he talked about Nebraska for, I think they put 1 minute on the clock, and he talked about Nebraska, and he got me believing. So I'll be on Nebraska minus 11.5.
All right. I got one more 330. It is Wake Forest money line at home against Pitt. Pitt with a big win last week against Louisville, and Wake Forest not looking too hot against who did they play? They lost.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah. So bad loss there. Good win for Pitt. I think this line should be more 3.5 for Wake. I think they bounce back, and Pitt is not as good a team as they were last week. They played a good game, but I'm going to take Wake Forest money line at home for the short price of minus 115.
I love that play. I might hop on that with you. I like that a lot.
Yes, sir.
All right, is that it for 330s?
Yeah, I got 4 o'clock before we go to 7.
Yeah, you got a 4 o'clock. I got a 6:30. So you hit your 4 o'clock. I'll hit my 6:30. Then we'll go to the 7, 8s, 10s, whatever.
Hey, my 4 o'clock is Miami of Ohio at home hosting Toledo. Toledo's been pretty solid this year, but I'm gonna buy Miami of Ohio to +3 at home. Both teams 6-1, I believe, so it should be a good game. I'm gonna take the home underdog +3, buying it 3. It's +2 right now. Probably would take that too, but I'm gonna buy it to 3, get that significant number in there, and yeah,
Nice.
4 o'clock.
I like that play, actually. I might that too. I love home dogs, especially in conference.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Good stuff. Quick. Who famous quarterback that went to Miami of Ohio?
Now a hint, what team do you play for in the NFL?
I think I might give it away. Can I give you the division? AFC North.
Yeah, I don't know.
No guesses?
I'm trying to think.
Oh,
I don't know.
well,
I haven't watched too much Miami of Ohio football in the past decade, to be honest.
well, you watch this guy a whole heck of a lot. Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
He's a Miami of Ohio alma mater. Play a little foosball there.
Nice. I did not know that. I wouldn't have got that.
It's one of those weird facts that I know. I didn't watch him at Miami of Ohio either. I don't think I was alive when he suited up for them.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't the biggest Big Ben fan, to be honest. So.
Yeah. Not many people are, but unless you live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Or Wilmington. Wilmington surprisingly has a lot of Steelers fans.
Steelers fans are everywhere, though.
Yeah. Why?
Well, they've been successful for a long time.
Fair enough. All right. You said you're 4 o'clock?
Mm-hmm. And then I got nothing till 7.
All right. Quickly, I got 6:30. I got UNC minus 23.5. UNC's kind of been a wagon as of late. Just at home, I think they're easily 24 points plus better than UVA. My one concern is that they play down in the competition. They kind of did that earlier with Appalachian State earlier in the year. They kind of play down the competition. I have a weird feeling that might happen, but if they play to their potential, they should easily wipe the floor with this UVA team. So I'll back the Tar Heels in this one.
All right. 7 o'clock.
Yep, I got two 7:30s, an 8 o'clock, and then 10:30.
All right. I got 2 7s and 7:30, and I'm done. No late night for me.
Oh, Fuski's going to bed early.
Actually, no, I'll be working. So I'll see all the games. I usually the late games for me are we see how the day went and then decide if we want to play them.
I hear you.
Even like anything too much. If there's a game that stands out, I'll pick it, but that's
All right, let's see those sevens.
My first 7 is UNLV -7. It's 7.5 at home against Colorado State. I'll probably buy it to 7. Get rid of the hook. UNLV 6-0 against spread. Yeah, 6-0 against the spread sounds good to me. I'll take UNLV -7 at home.
Yeah, no, I have 6-0 against spread is a sizable sample size, so I think taking them is not a bad option there. I remember watching I forget which game they played, but it was earlier in the year. I was watching UNLV play. I think it might have been when they played Vanderbilt. But anyway, I saw one of their guys make like a catch on the sidelines, like just like a 12-yard out, like a stick route, and the guy caught it out of bounds and like 2 feet down. So I wrote his name down in my notes, looking for like a dynasty pickup, maybe in the draft or something late round.
This guy.
Yeah, I do my scouting, Fuski. That's what I do.
Scouting Rich.
I'm scouting UNLV. I'm not going to tell you his name because it's conflict of interest. We're in the same league. So.
Sure, I could go on the roster and figure out who it is.
You don't know the same.
All right, I got one more 7 o'clock, and it is BYU +3 at home against Texas Tech. BYU flopped last week against TCU, I believe it was. But I expect them to bounce back and be much better this week at home against a Texas Tech team that usually isn't too good on the road. Another home dog.
Yeah, I feel you there. Fuski's back in the Mormons. I might as well, but I don't know. It's the thing is I got 12 college plays and I'm confident in all 12 of these, and I start throwing other picks in there. It's kind of tough. But I do like the home dogs, as you know, so we'll see. Maybe a game day decision there.
Hell yeah.
Give me 7:30s now. Duke +14.5 at FSU.
That's my last play too. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Devils.
I mean, fuck the Blue Devils forever and always, but
I believe Riley Leonard is going to play as well.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think he's going to be back. I mean, Duke's defense has been unbelievable this year. And I think FSU at points can struggle offensively, especially. I think this Duke team can put a lot of pressure on them. I think they keep it within 14.5 points. I know it's tough being at FSU, but I think this Duke team has been playing real well. With Riley Leonard most likely coming back, I like that spot.
He's a stud.
Yeah, and then I got Michigan State +24.5. I hate it. +24. They're at home against Michigan. I hate it. I really, 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 really hate it. But this is one of those games where you take the 24-point dog. One of the bigger rivalries in college sports. I don't care who you are. You're a 3-star recruit. Michigan's got those 5-star recruits, whatever. Doesn't matter. These guys are going to come ready to play. They looked really good early against Rutgers last week, and they kind of blew it. But I like Michigan State plus 24 points at home.
All right. I'm done. My last pick was Duke plus 14.5 as well. So I'm done. No late nights for me. What else you got?
At USC -7 hosting the Utes of Utah. I just don't. I just don't think this Utah team is very good. Like they don't. They're just not really that good of a team. I think they've scapegoated a few games. I think they deserved to win the game last week against California, but California kept it close, and then late Utah just kind of pulled away. Couple touchdowns, quick, couple turnovers for California. USC sucked last week against Notre Dame. I backed them. This is a good bounce back week, traveling back home, and I think they kicked the shit out of Utah. This is a good bounce back spot for USC. And then I got Stanford plus 17 against UCLA. Yeah, I think the trees do pretty good.
Quite the analysis.
I think the trees do pretty good. But now UCLA played against Oregon State last week at Oregon State, and they're playing at Stanford. So second of a back-to-back. And I think even though they didn't cover the spread last week against Oregon State, I think Stanford is the right play at home. Stanford is currently 2-4. Haven't really played their best, but I mean, obviously they beat Colorado at Colorado. They played Arizona
that game
by a point. Didn't Arizona beat someone real good last week?
Arizona's been playing some good football.
Oh, they smoked Washington State 44-6. I forgot about that. Yeah, I think Stanford's just a better team. What the record shows, I'll take them. I'll take them plus the 17 at home against UCLA.
All right, is that it?
The Stanford Cardinal. That's their logo, right? The Cardinal.
Their logo? I think it's just an S.
Well, the logo's an S, but their mascot. It's an S with a tree in it. That's why I called them the trees earlier, but they're the Cardinal, right?
You know, I don't really know.
It's going to have to be a Google search later, I think. All right.
Is that it?
That's it for me, man.
All right. Fuck yeah. NFL Week 7, college football Week 8. Biggest slate for me in college football. We are ready to rock and roll. We're getting into the thick of things now.
Oh, yeah.
This is not the home stretch, but it's getting there. I mean, we're almost at the end of October here, October 20th.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Time's flying. But
football weather is here.
Yeah. The boys are feeling dangerous this weekend, so let's get after it. Let's get some dollars. Let's make some dough. Let's drink some carbonated waters, and let's have a great one.
Hell yeah, brother. I might split this one into two. We did a lot of college football there at the end.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I believe we have Petty back next week. Big gun season is over. So I think we got our third musketeer back in the mix.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
All right, brother. Good shit. Thanks for watching, everyone. Tune in. Look out for those picks on X, and we will see you next week.
See ya.